Hello everyone. Today we are going to perform the test on uh, 3-cylinder 4-stroke petrol engine. The aim of this experiment is to have the relationship between speed and load over the brake thermal efficiency of this particular engine. Okay. The title of this engine is load speed test on 3-cylinder 4-stroke petrol engine. So let us have a quick look over the setup. Here we see is the electronic control panel. This is RPM indicator in which the speed of engine is indicated. This is the display for indicating the load. This load is indicated in terms of voltage. Okay. So for that we have to convert this voltage into kg. To measure the load, the dynamometer used is the water dynamometer. Below this you see here is the temperature indicator which indicates various temperatures for that particular points. These temperatures are used to find out the heat balance sheet. Our aim is to determine the speed and load for this particular engine. Here for this engine test setup, these are the observations. Number of cylinders are 3. It is a 4-stroke petrol engine and its rated power is 27.6 kilowatt and working speed is 5000 rpm. Means at 5000 rpm this much of power is generated by this engine. Going back to the engine specification, the diameter of engine is 66.5 mm. The stroke length is 72 mm. From this we can calculate the displacement area by using the relation pi by 4 d square into L. The compression ratio is 9.2:1. The diameter of orifice used is 35 mm. It is used to measure the discharge of air which is taking in during the suction stroke. This is the length of dynamometer arm. It is used to determine the torque produced by that engine. Here we see is the fuel measuring pipette. In this the fuel is indicated like this. The reading we see here are the cc's, means 160 cc, 150 cc, 140 cc. The difference is 10 cc. Okay. Here we see is the manometer. In this the deflection we will measure to determine the flow of air. Below this pipette there is a knob. This knob, when it is at the tank position, that means whatever the fuel inside this tank, that is directly given to the engine. While measuring the brake specific fuel consumption, we rotate this knob to the measuring. After this, the supply from tank to the engine will cut off and supply from this pipette to the engine will take place. In that condition we have to measure the readings in between these two cc's. So time for 10 cc that we are going to measure while this cock is on measuring mode. Below this engine there is a knob. It is right now in off position. When we make this on position, then engine is, the motor is starting. Okay, this motor is used to supply the water to engine as well as to the calorimeter. This rotameter is used to supply the water to engine, means it is used as a cooling water for engine, and this rotameter is used to measure the discharge in the calorimeter. The reading for this the discharge in engine is kept in between 900 to 1000 liters per hour. For specific purpose we put this value as 925 to 950 liters per hour, and here we take it as 225 liters per hour for calorimeter. Here we see is the dashboard panel. This panel is used for the Moore's test. Here we can see the indicator of battery, oil level and fault. If suppose there is a fault in engine, then this will buzzer. It will indicate the battery in operating condition. It will indicate the oil is at a particular level. Here we see is the throttle valve. When we operate this throttle, the butterfly valve before the port will actuate. Okay, and it will, the sense of rotation, please note carefully. clockwise direction of rotation will increase the throttle position and anti-clockwise direction rotation will decrease the throttle position. Here we see is the ignition switch. When we turn on the switch, the engine is going to start. So this is the 3-cylinder 4-stroke engine and the make of engine is Maruti. Here we see is the multi-point fuel injection system here. When we operate the throttle valve from that panel, this is operated, and with this the butterfly valve which is present inside this, that is going to open like this. When we operate the knob on the control panel, this butterfly valve is going to operate. So since this is a multi-point fuel injection system, so fuel is directly injected inside the engine. Here we see are the injectors. There are separate injectors provided for each and every cylinder. There are 3 cylinders, so separate 3 injectors are provided. This is the port injection system. So fuel is directly injected in the intake port. Okay. These are the exhaust ports. This is alternator. It produces energy and it supplies to battery. This is flywheel. At starting, the motor is started, and with the help of motor the flywheel is rotated, and due to the rotation of flywheel the engine stroke take place. Here we see is the distributor. Distributor is used to distribute the ignition pulse to each and every cylinder. So here we can see the spark is given to the each and every spark plug through this distributor. It is a oil level. We can measure the level of oil with this bar. It is a crank sump. Here the oil is stored. The oil is used for the lubrication purpose. The lubrication of piston ring is took place in this engine with the help of this crankcase oil lubrication. Here we see these are the intake ports. Okay, from this manifold there are 3 separate ports provided to each and every cylinder. This is a capacitor and this is a battery. Here we see is the calorimeter. The input to the calorimeter are the exhaust gases coming out from the engine. The exhaust gases are provided to this calorimeter, and the output of this calorimeter is provided to the atmosphere with separate pipe. Here it is intake of water to the calorimeter, and from this point the water is taken out from the calorimeter. This calorimeter is used to determine the heat carried away by the exhaust gases. This is required for the heat balance sheet. Here we see is the output shaft. Output shaft of this engine is connected to this water dynamometer. In this water dynamometer there is an arm. This arm is operated by this lever. Okay. So to adjust the load we will operate this wheel. As we go on operating this wheel, the load on engine is going to increase. Okay. This dynamometer is also provided with water for its cooling purpose. So this is the inlet to the inlet to the water and outlet connection to the water. Up till now we have discussed the setup of this engine. Now let us understand what is the procedure. Before going in detail of the procedure, first of all we have to check for 2-3 conditions. First of all, check that the throttle position is at its minimum level. Check that load on the engine provided by this dynamometer is minimum. Check that the flow level in this rotameter is with given value. and the flow level of this rotameter is also for given value. This rotameter is used to supply the water to the engine, and this is used to supply water to the calorimeter. Now when we switch on this knob, the flow through this rotameter to the engine and calorimeter will take place. Now when we insert the key in this ignition switch, and while we operate this ignition switch to start the engine, make sure that the load on engine and throttle position is at minimum level. Note one thing, that the fuel cock is at its tank position, so that the fuel from the tank will be provided directly to the engine. When we are going to take the reading, then we are operating this fuel cock to measuring. At this condition, the fuel from this pipette will get consumed, and we will take the reading for 10 cc's. Next, we have to increase the speed by operating this throttle valve. Gradually operate the throttle valve to open the throttle position inside the multi-point fuel injector cabin. After increasing the throttle valve, the supply of fuel to the engine will increase. So we will observe increase in speed in this RPM, okay, while the load is constant. Now by operating the wheel on this dynamometer, increase the load gradually, attain a particular load and speed condition for this particular setup. Now our aim is to have various load conditions to determine the specific fuel consumption. Suppose for example at this stage the load is 11 kg. So for this position we have to measure what is the specific fuel consumption with respect to the speed. Now the speed is constant, load is constant. For this case, note down the speed and load in observation table. Now operate this fuel cock to its measuring level. Now the fuel from this pipette will consumed by the engine. Now for 10 cc consumption, measure the time and write down this time in the row of the speed and load. Now change the load condition and change the throttle position. Okay, for that second load, the consumption of fuel we have to note. Okay, we are going to repeat the procedure for 3 to 4 times. After that we will have for that particular load what is the specific fuel consumption. I will provide you the observation and observation table. Here we can see the observation and observation table. In observation table, first of all, we note the speed in RPM, load in kg that we have determined. Next, we have to measure the manometer deflection as discussed previously. Write down the fuel consumption, that is for 10 cc how much fuel is consumed, that we have to write down in this column. After that, water through engine liters per hour that we have to note, and water through calorimeter that we have to note. Repeat the same procedure for 3 to 4 speeds. Now let us discuss how we are going to make the calculations to find out the brake power and brake thermal efficiency. Our aim is to determine brake power and brake thermal efficiency. To have the brake power, we must require the torque produced by the engine. To calculate the torque, we have mass on display. That mass on display will give the load into 9.81, that will convert into Newton, and into dynamometer arm. Dynamometer arm is 200 mm, that we have to convert into meter. So the torque in Newton meter we will get from this first equation. Now put this value of torque in second equation, we will have the brake power. Now to have the brake thermal efficiency, we have formula. Brake thermal efficiency is equal to brake power into 3600 divided by mf into cv. mf is the specific fuel consumption and cv is the calorific value of that particular fuel. We have brake power, but up till now we have not calculated the specific fuel consumption. To find out the specific fuel consumption, first of all we will calculate the total fuel consumption. It is given by mf. So mf is equal to volume of fuel that here we have taken the volume of fuel as 10 cc and we have noted the time for that volume of fuel consumption. Into we have to multiply the density, then we will get the value of fuel consumption in kg per hour. Now we will determine the specific fuel consumption. The formula for specific fuel consumption is mass of fuel divided by brake power. So this m dot f that we will use in this brake thermal efficiency to find out the brake thermal efficiency. Now for a particular speed, the torque we have calculated, for that particular speed we have calculated the brake power. So for each and every speed, the brake power and brake thermal efficiency we will calculate by using these calculations. Now next, our aim is to draw the graph of speed against the torque, speed against the brake power and speed against the brake thermal efficiency.